Huge warning, we got to talk about it, about the new quality of life updates and or the events that are going on right now. Live Arena is actually currently active, so it's being blocked, but it's the 2X on the Minotaur. We got some warnings, let's talk about it, and do me a favor. Real quick, click the link in my description to get a free Karato, as well as Annex, Ugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Player and Play on a PC and uninstall. Click the link in my description and register with a brand new email. Launch raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Get an awesome start in Raid Shadow Legends with your free Karate Fox Hunter, as well as 3 epic champions. Hit the link below and claim them today. I'll see you in the game. Woo! Okay, for those of you that have been playing the game for about a week, we did have a bunch of quality of life updates to go in last Thursday. Today is Monday at the time of this recording. And I'd heard rumors through our stream Friday night, and I actually bit the bullet for the community and did a specific test just to verify that this is the case, and it is the case. Also, this was talked about on our Knights of Teleria podcast on Sunday, and people in the chat did say that Plarium did know about this and that they planned on updating / fixing this issue in the next patch. Now, when that next patch is, no one knows, but I think it's going to skew the numbers in terms of the Minotaur. So what was the quality of life update? Basically, for years and years and years and years and years, we've been begging for 2X's on the Minotaur's Labyrinth, right? So when you go into Minotaur's Labyrinth, of course, I don't have the energy to show it right now, but they have 2X turned on. Now, what is the issue and why is it happening? So for those of you who don't know, or have you, actually most everybody should know, when you go to run Bronze and Minotaur for the scrolls, like you get 100, and in fact, it's just easier to show you here. You get 100, and this is the RSL helper, in case you don't know, but you get 100 of the common scrolls, I guess the green scrolls, you get 600 of those and 950 of those. Now, you have noticed this, and it happens all the time, but when you get to these thresholds, they just give you the number of scrolls that you're going to get on those thresholds. And you can see those numbers here, right? So 24 to 32, 11 to 16, and 6 to 12. And that dictates how many times you have to run Minotaurs to get these scrolls, right? But I have, run this and gotten several 24s and ended up with like 96 scrolls, right? And again, the minimum is 24, but let's just say you get 4 24s in a row. The next run is only going to give you 4 of the common ones, and then it's going to stop. So it's going to say, hey, you still need common scrolls. You're only 96 of 100 here, right? You're going to get 4 scrolls, and then it stops. Well, that happens on the 2X as well, meaning if I spend 28 energy and I need 4 scrolls for the commons, it will basically waste that energy. So what they did when they implemented this, and I will say, like when they implement 2X on everything else, and of course I've been running all my stuff today, so I don't really have something I can click into and just show you. But normally when you run a 2X, say on the dragon, you get it almost treats it as 2 separate runs, and you get 2 pieces of gear. Say, gear piece 1, 5 6 star piece gear, and then gear set 2, 5 or 6 star piece of gear. Okay. And you didn't have that threshold coding in the game, right? You can even look at this when you look at Sand Devils and Phantom Shoguns too, for those different potions, right? So when you run a 2X, it'll only give you 1 run of X amount of potion, but it does treat it as 2 separate runs. So you might get, 10 of the big ones and 100 of the little ones, for example, right? But it doesn't like combine the 2 runs together. Well, the Minotaur scrolls right now do combine both runs together, and it says, hey, we're only going to give you the 4 scrolls you need for this, and we're going to stop. And that is for the double energy. Hopefully all that makes sense. Here's your screenshot that verifies it. So it was actually pretty funny because I was actually running this earlier, and I could look and I could see that my Elhain, and again, I ran this on Sunday, let's say earlier, but I saw that I only needed 1 scroll for my Elhain. I was at 749. So when I looked here, yeah, 749. And so what it does is, first of all, it only applies both sets of scrolls to one of the champions. So in this example, as you can see, Siegfried obviously has all his scrolls. You can tell by from the max, and we got the Dark Elhain, which is the 1 scroll that we needed. This was a 2X run. I had, 17 plus 28, do the math on that. And that's how many runs I did. And it gave me the 1 scroll and then stopped. So it did not treat these as 2 separate runs. So I think the fix should be, especially when you're running multiple champions, right? We were running 4 champions in Minotaurs, leveling them up and running the scrolls. It should treat the scroll drops per champion right? And that would basically fix the problem. So in other words, Dark Elhain got the one it needed on the first run. The second run, Tayrel, Kanishiwa, whatever her name is, Lemoniski. I added a K in there. I don't know why, but I did. Lemoniski, ski, a home ski, home slice, Lemoniski. Yes. So it would be nice if it did that. So that is your warning. They did announce that they're going to, again, through chat. I don't know because I'm not official content creator, so I don't have access to the information or the Discord servers or anything like that. But my understanding is it has been announced as a bug and they are going to fix it. And by are going to fix it, I mean next patch. When's the next patch? Might be a month from now. So a couple things on this. First of all, I just kind of want to just talk about this. I really is annoying that they don't test these things when they release these updates. And maybe that's why they drug their feet so long about updates. They're like, oh, we got to go through and test it. You know what? Just add a 2x and go with it and whatnot. So that's just kind of my beef. Number one is why don't they test these things? I feel like this would have been an easy thing to test. People instantly figured out I just wasted a whole bunch of energy for nothing, basically. And what's really bad, you know, I guess on this end scroll, that would make sense if you're only running one champion. But again, if you're running multiple champions, it should work. But it's really bad on like Kenichiwa right here. She's at 48 scrolls. You know, the minimum we can get is 24. So 2 more runs and she would get those. But again, it's possible you could get that messed up. So I don't know why they don't test these things. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, you know, they said, hey, we'll try this 2x things to see if it's really something that the community really wants and wants to do. Well, with a bug like this in the game, and as it kind of spreads out there, is, hey, fair warning, community, don't do this. You're going to waste your energy. You know, is that going to skew their numbers and say, okay, well, we didn't have enough people run this, so we don't find it necessary to run this as a 2x. So I hope that's not the case. Now, I will say, for transparency's perspective, if they did do a 2x and this was the only champion I had to get the scrolls and I only needed 1 scroll, I think that is the proper way for this to happen. But not when you're running multiple champions. Again, each run should be treated separately, just like all the other dungeon divers. Again, you know, look at Phantom Shoguns, you get 2 different, you know, or both of them hit in the same grouping and you get double in that grouping. But either way, that's probably the way it should work, and they didn't code that in the game. So there you go. That's your fair warning. Good luck, and hopefully this message gets out there and the community gets to be able to take this and run with it. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll find this out live on the Twitches Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. Come be a part of the community and join our Discord, because we do a bunch of stuff on there. So have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.